Now we are going to go into yet another very interesting thing, which is aeronautics. So what has aeronautics got to do with our ancient scriptures? Our topic is yesterday is equal to tomorrow. So yes, we have everything to do with it. Now, all of us know about Ramayana. All of us know about Lord Hanuman. In fact, he's a favorite of so many people. Now, he goes to Sri Lanka and he's astonished by what he says. In Valmiki Ramayana, there is a sloka which shows Lord Hanuman's expression the moment he sees the Pushpaka Vimana. And what he observes is very, very critical for us, because we know, yeah, Pushpaka Vimana is mentioned in Ramayana, but how is it mentioned is very important. Here, the sloka basically says that Hanuman saw this great Vimana, which is best among the best of Vimanas, which means there were so many Vimanas which people knew, and there are so many Vimanas which were categorized as best at that point of time. And this seems to excel in comparison to all what he knew earlier about Vimanas. So this was not a standalone Vimana. The Pushpaka Vimana was not, just a one-off Vimana. It was, an outstanding Vimana among the many other things that existed during that time. This is what is mentioned by Lord Hanuman in the 8th Sarga of Sundarakanda. Now we have something called as the Vaimanika Shastram, which is a study of Vimanas. And this Vimana Shastram is mind-boggling when we get into it. Because if you look at this, it speaks about the purpose of Vimanas, which is like, it says it can go on land, it can go in water, and it can go in sky. So we had the Vimanas which were doing multiple things, which could be a submarine as well as a flying machine at the same time. So Vimanas were capable of doing this. Not just that, if you look at the explanation, it says it could travel from place to place, from country to country, and planets to planets, which is another very, very interesting thing. So they use the Vimanas to go from a planet to a different planet, the different sizes, the shapes of Vimana, what it could do, how it was utilized, everything has been mentioned in the Vaimanika Shastra. Now, what is interesting is, it is not just about one Vimana, as I explained. I spoke about the yugas yesterday, right? The Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga, etc. It is mentioned that there were varieties of Vimanas during each of these yugas. So the mantra Vimanas existed during the Treta Yuga. During Rama's time, they say that mantra Vimanas existed. And during Dwapara Yuga, Tantra Vimanas existed. In Kali Yuga, only Krita Vimanas can exist. So what do we understand from this? Mantra Vimanas means by reciting the mantras, the Vimanas could be activated. It is something like the voice activated devices, which we explained today. So today, thanks to Google or Amazon, we know that the moment I say, Alexa, sing a song, it is ready with a song for me. So I can trigger a technical equipment using my voice. That technology was used to trigger aeroplanes. A mantra could be used. Alexa, stop. It will stop. So now what happens is, that technology was available only during Treta Yuga time. They say that when it came to Dwapara Yuga, people were not, so well versed in all this. So they could use only using technology, the remote concept and other things were there. They could use technologically triggered missions. And now they say for Kali Yuga, people will use Krita Vimana. We need a pilot. We need so many other things in order to run our aeroplanes. So it will be made by people and used by people. So it is a deterioration. So these kind of information, how could they know? How did they do? Was all this used by those people? People start thinking about this, and luckily we still have the Vaimanika Shastra book authored by Maharishi. Vedavyasa's father actually wrote this book. So it was that ancient a book, and we are lucky to have the Bharadwaja Vaimanika Shastra with us. Now, with so much of information in that, um, the earliest text that is available to humankind, which is the Rig Veda, has information about the technology of Vimanas mentioned at least in 20 places. Now, after the Rig Veda, we know that Ramayana mentions it. We know that Mahabharata mentioned it in several different places. In fact, Mahabharata mentions about extraterrestrials using different weaponry, using the flights and things like that also. And we have this Brihat Vaimanika Shastram of Bharadwaja Maharishi, which compiles a lot of such information. So using all this, there was one person by name Shivkar Baba Talpade, who created his own Vimana when the British were ruling us. And he created the Vimana. He said that I have used the technology which is mentioned in the earlier scriptures in order to come out with a lot of things. And it was an unmanned aircraft. So he had invited the kings who were ruling us at that point of time. And then he had invited the British who were ruling us as well. And then he wanted to demonstrate, the working of the Vimana. But then people were very upset that Indian could find it out, and how can we have these scriptures? So the scriptures were taken away from us. And it is mentioned that after 8 years of refining that technology, Wright brothers came up with the machine which flew again. So Shivkar Baba Talpade came out in a lot of newspapers at that point of time. So it was called as Marut Saka, the friend of air. Marut is wind, so the friend of the wind. And it flew for around 1,500 meters unmanned, and everything is what is mentioned. So the concept that we've used, the radar can't detect it. A kind of paint that was used, when it is painted on the aeroplanes, even a radar can't detect it, has been mentioned, which means they knew about the radar detection and other technologies. And another very interesting thing is they have a concept of Surya Gantamani, which has been explained as it will take in all the energy from the sun, and using that power, even the flights can be activated. So it is something like what we speak about today as solar energy, and we use it to run small things, right? So they could power aircrafts using the solar energy. So that has also been mentioned there. So these kind of very interesting information has been used in the Vaimana Shastra. So that is what we see here. So the I was mentioning about Shivkar Babu Talpade, and he had invited Shri Lalaji Justice and Maharaj Sayaji Rao, everybody. All this happened in 1895. You have the data here. So the Surya Gantamani is what I explained just now. And this is mentioned in the Brihat Vimana Shastram also. And this is a very interesting observation. If you go to Ellora caves, you see something like this in one of the sculptures. And a video from a person by name Praveen Mohan, which you can see in the YouTube, he explains that this is very similar to the current day jetpack. So he's pointed out the different parts that is mentioned in this particular sculpture. And he says each of this part can be related to the current day jetpack, which is a very recent invention. And Travis Taylor of the University of California says that he tried a very simple model of the aircraft that has been mentioned in our scriptures, and it was definitely a working model. His video is also available on YouTube. Now, what happens is that a lot of such things, we look forward to others accepting what our traditional wisdom earlier said, like, the Sanskrit effect, which I spoke yesterday. It uses different parts of the mouth, but today when it is proved scientifically, we feel, yes, it is true. And today a lot of things are going towards whatever we have identified and found out in the past, because the future is going to be knowledge-based economy. People who have the maximum copyrights are going to be there, right? And we can see how a lot of information is going towards that when we look at our scriptures. In a lighter vein, I would like to show you this, where we have the toothpaste, which we have today. Earlier, we used to have statements like Alum Velum Pallipurudi in Tamil, where we say that, you have to use all the roots in order to keep your teeth healthy. And salt is going to be really good for your teeth, so on and so forth. And today, all this is coming in the form of toothpaste. And who can forget the thing which says, Unga toothpaste la uppu irukka? Namak hai kya aapki toothpaste mein? And today we have the Ved Shakti coming up in toothpaste and all that. The pranayama, which we've been working for ages, the yoga, which we've been speaking, has now become the cardiac coherent breathing exercise. So a lot of such things, people have started following the footpath of our ancestors. But then, do we even know that these were there done by our ancestors? Do we at least know the catalog? Do we know the titles that is there, which are given by our ancestors to us? So this series, in my thought, started because we should at least know, at a very, very high level, what all we have. So I have tried to touch a few of these things between yesterday and today, but we have a huge repository of a lot of things. And yesterday, many of you sent me messages saying that 2 days is not sufficient. We need a lot more information on these things. So we thought whenever possible, we can have sessions like this going forward as well. So 6th of February, a month from now or 4 weeks from now, if you can mark your calendars, we can have an extension of this, another hour of a session where we can speak of different things which our ancestors have contributed. So 6th of February happens to be a Saturday because many of you are telling me that weekday is difficult. So we've kept it as Saturday morning, same timing. So remember to mark your calendars. The details, other details, I will be sending it to you later. So the idea is to get a very, very, very high level overview of some of the things which our ancestors have contributed, which we ought to know because they've done it for us.